Food production should be appreciated as an essential part of a community. Hi, my name is Lee Altier, and I'm a professor of horticulture at Chico State University. Agriculture can contribute to a healthy environment by promoting fertile soil, groundwater recharge, and biodiversity. It also enhances aesthetic values from open space. Besides all that, there is an important contribution to the social integrity of a community from local agriculture. The community benefits from having the security of a regional food supply, independent of distributors and transportation. From a direct connection with producers, consumers gain an appreciation of who is producing their food and how their food is produced. At the same time, growers can be responsive to local food traditions and consumer demand by adjustments to the varieties of crops grown. In contrast to the commodity production of mega farms, wholesaled through distributors and shipped thousands of miles, local farms are often an important part of the civic life of the community, participating in farmers markets, promoting agricultural education programs, and contributing to the variety and quality of the local cuisine. This video is the story of a diverse vegetable farm in Northern California, its role in the health of the community, and its role also in inspiring the participation of young people in local food production.
Hi, good to meet you today. Good to have you at Farm-A-Lot, so welcome. Right here we got a beautiful view of Mount Lassen that put some ash here that gives us a rich soil. The vine is reputed to have really good soil because it retains moisture, but it drains pretty well too, so it's pretty good. So I chose this area because of its wide range of being able to grow food. We have an orchard here, we have some apple trees still going, we got a little bit of citrus. We're just finishing a persimmon crop. So we have different crops during different seasons. So your whole life on a farm is a pattern around the seasons. And of course, that builds community because everyone knows when it's Halloween, we're looking for pumpkins. So, you know, we sell a lot of local food that's seasonally connected to the community as well.
I'll pick it up, you weigh that.
All the dynamics in the community, how people eat, what they eat, what recipes they do, we share all those. Sometimes customers have really good recipes that we try. So that's the thing about going to the markets is, you know, we make connections. We had Sierra Nevada come to our booth one day, and the owner came with the chef, and he had been coming to the market, and he thought we could probably do their salad mix for him. So we developed that relationship for about 3 years, and that was a daily relationship. So we got to know the employees in the kitchen. We got to know all the different people. And those people sometimes have, okay, well, I can weld or I can do something else. When we have a job on the farm that needs that, we have a local resource. So I could tell you all of my neighbors and what all their skills are, right? And if I have a truck break, I know what to do about that. So, and of course they know what our skills are, so I reciprocate. We trade food, we barter. But that's part of what made the farm happen, and we've gotten a lot of materials to build our farm from Habitat for Humanity or local scrapyard like with the greenhouses. So you build all these relationships, and we call people, you know, we work with a lot of university students, and of course their lives, they live here sometimes and there. And if we have gaps in our help, we have a whole list of people we can call that worked here or whatever doing, you can fill in for a day. So that's really what makes it work. And anytime you build anything bigger than yourself, then you're dependent on those networks and those relationships to, you know, to keep it going.
When we first came here as farmers market customers, we had already been talking about how nice it is to live in Chico, more of an agricultural area.
When we started shopping here, you know, we just noticed that the community really cares about this market and they support it. And, you know, it can be over 100 degrees and there will be thousands of people here day in and day out in the summertime. It's incredible to me.
And Paul was talking about the possibility of us working at a farm maybe, just kind of as an idea, like as a something we were musing about. And I remember saying, do you know how hot it gets in Chico? We are not going to work at a farm. We need to focus on what we came to school for. Me was nutrition, Paul for kinesiology. And just was kind of like, no, we're not going to work at a farm. That's just a ridiculous idea.
The younger generation, they look at things differently and they look more at quality of life. So they understand that their food is their health, that what they eat, what goes into their body, how they live is going to affect them. So it's really nice to see students that come in, they can't quite do the work when they get here, but then after perseverance, they stand up and they can do the work and they leave here stronger.
For myself, I have no background in growing food, no gardening history, no farming. I had never done any of that before. And here we are 4 years later. I have been working at a farm for over 4 years and I love it now. I love being out in the heat, love being outside. So it's just so different than when we started. I was kind of like a wimp about the idea of working outside, and now I'm just fully immersed and loving it, and it's changed everything for me. So
there's kind of a revolution among young people to get into sustainable ag, and it's kind of, what do they say? Well, the farmers now are the new rock stars for the next generation. Many students, they don't believe in industrial farming. They don't want their products from China. If it's a product we can't produce here, fine. But the younger generation, they look at things differently.
I think things changed when I actually started working at the farm, working with the plants and seeing the relationship between the plants and the natural world. That gave me such a deep interest and passion for how growing food relates to not only the health of the natural world, but human health as well, which is my interest in nutrition, how it's all connected. Really making that connection was the big change for me toward valuing local food and seeing how valuable local food is for the health of a community and the health of an individual as well.
The point is young people believe in sustainability, and I think the big part of that is the relationships you make with the community, because if you come into the community, you're working with the farm and you're interacting with the community to markets and you're working with the schools and you're meeting the community people, then those people are supportive of what you're doing. And we've been able to access a lot of resources, both intellectual capital as well as some real capital to do some of the things we've done. So everyone that buys food at our market, that's a local food investor.
That kind of motivation that we see in our customers to carve time out of their Saturday morning to come to the farmer's market, that people do that for a reason. And I suspect that it's because of that community sense that they feel here, that sense of belonging, that sense of buying food from someone who produced it and takes so much pride in selling it directly to customers. It's really given me a whole new value for local food and really made that my career focus. So somehow bridging nutrition and agriculture and showing the benefits of human health through that.
The thing that kind of blows me away in a way, we thank all of our customers for coming by the market because we're running a business. We depend on them to shop with us, but they say to us, thank you for being here. And I'd say, wow, it's really kind of them to say that because, it's really validating all of the effort that goes into it and really the love that we put into it.
So local food is something for the local community to be proud of. If your farmers are successful, the community's successful, and we're growing food and we're developing those relationships. And the whole thing about local food, I think each community should set a goal of how much food they want to be locally, because if we have any disruptions in our global economy, either through a natural disaster or act of God or whatever it is, to other failings, we're going to need those community resources. And so right now, I think, especially facing climate change, it's really important to build community infrastructure, especially around food security and getting reconnected with your food. So farming in a way is kind of a threshold to permaculture, to I think, a more balanced relationship, with our environment, which we have to learn, and we're still working on that.
Local farmers provide so much more than food. The aesthetic, environmental, economic, and social contributions to the region are immense. Once lost, it's very difficult to recover the land and soil necessary for farming. Conservation of local agriculture is as critical to the security and integrity of a community as the protection of energy, fresh water, and air.